Hello and welcome back to season 2 of the podcast at the card table, where we discuss creation, practice, performance, and history with the greatest minds in Magic. I'm incredibly excited to let you know that this episode is also brought to you by MAGICBOX. They have all of your Magic needs covered, from the latest releases to absolute classics and all of the extras you could possibly need to keep you going. Make sure to check them out and use code PATCT at the checkout. That is PATCT at checkout for 10% off your next order. Until then, on with the episode. Today's guest is one of the most inventive minds in modern Magic, having created material for the likes of David Copperfield, Dynamo and David Blaine, whilst also bringing his work to film, television and his own live performances. Along the way, building a reputation for creating some of the most visual, innovative and original Magic, with the likes of Ringer, Regeneration and the Vanishing Stool. It is, of course, the incredible Blake Vogt. How are we doing today, Blake? You well?
Hey, I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Very, very well. Very
Nice.
excited to sit down and have a conversation. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to sit down and talk about Magic. Geek out a little bit.
Hey, man. I love talking about Magic.
Perfect. Then we're in the right place.
I literally got ready today, and I opened the drawer, and the next shirt on my piles of shirts was this one, and I was like, "Oh, this is meant to be."
Perfect. I saw you wearing that in one of the Inventing Magic episodes, and I was like, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Perfect. We're going to get straight into it. We're going to jump into your origin story very briefly, because I know you've mentioned this origin story on a multitude of different podcasts. So to keep this nice and brief, because it is a crazy story, how did you get into Magic?
Got into Magic when I was little, 8 years old, saw a magician at a Pizza Hut, and doing walk-around magic. Mark Lehman, amazing magician in Lebanon, Indiana, doing walk-around. Had never seen a magician. Became obsessed, watched him do magic every Wednesday at a different Pizza Hut in Indiana. And then my parents hired him to do my 9th birthday party. And from my 9th birthday party to today, I've known that was it. So that's like the origin.
Perfect. What comes next is absolute chaos and carnage. And you've mentioned it on a lot of other podcasts, and I'll have a few of those linked below if anybody would like to get into the depths and the weird and wonderful journey that you have had, because there have been some fantastic coincidences, some incredible luck, and self-made luck. I mean, you were the right place, the right time, and the right guy. So, I mean, it's not just a case
I've been very lucky.
Yeah, 100%. Some crazy stories. So definitely check that out. We're going to hop into what we call the quickfire section. I say that in inverted quotes because more often than not, it is not quickfire. And to be fair, quite like it that way, because you get a little bit of a discussion. It's not single word answers. But we're going to start with, what is your favorite sleight? This doesn't necessarily have to be card stuff. A lot of people automatically assume that it's cards, but this could be absolutely anything. What's your favorite sleight?
Sleight is, like you said, it's tough because it depends on what category you're talking about. I feel
Overall
like I'm
favorite.
I'm not like a big move monkey. Because I know a lot, but I feel like I have friends that are insane. And so when you see people at certain levels, you immediately reevaluate your own life. And well, I can't call myself a move guy after seeing you do that. But I mean, like the double lift, I feel like it's oversimplified, but I probably use that more than anything as far as sleights go for cards. That's like a go-to sleight. And I feel like I remember first time like going to Magic conventions, and when I was in high school, and I learned crazy sleights, and I bought all the tricks, and I bought every trick that Mark Mason had for sale at his booth. I still do. But like,
the guy's a demon at selling.
Dude, he's amazing, and the tricks are great, and he's just so good at performing. And so I bought all of it, and I remember the next week I had a gig at like a county fair where I was paid to walk around. I'm in high school, so like 16 years old, and I had practiced all week all these new tricks, and I was doing them, and they were getting decent reactions, but they were new. And then in between like tricks, I was like, well, let me think about another trick I just bought. And while I'm doing that, let me just do like a double lift and put it in their hand. And then they lost it. And I was like, oh, come on. But I think it's underappreciated. So I'll do a shout out to the double lift.
100%. Are you a double lift snob? That's the question, though. Are you the guy that
No,
has to be perfect? Because so many people, when you sit down at conventions, are like, "Show me a double lift," and then tear you to
no,
shreds. And it's like, okay,
no. I'm not a snob at all. I do a really basic one. I've seen some really crazy ones. I think the crazier it looks, the less I like it.
yeah,
Like there's some really cool flourishy double lifts that I've seen people nail. I just don't like it, but that's subjective. Like because I like the ones where it looks super clean and fair, and sometimes those are the hardest ones.
ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
The flourishes are there to make it easier. Let's be honest.
Wow. Oh my God. No,
We're
those
gonna
are just as much of a nightmare too to learn.
gonna get into a fight with the move monkeys today. I can tell already.
Uh, I love
Do
it.
you have a particular favorite plot in Magic? I know this is a very broad question, but if you had to narrow it down.
Yeah, I mean, like 10,000 feet in the air, I feel like the magician messed up plot is like very general,
Yeah.
but I probably do that too much. And so I have to constantly uh, critique my set list or the show order just to make sure I don't have too many of those in a show or like in a walk around set that I'm doing because that plot only kind of works if you use it sparingly. And I'm obsessed with it because I just think that if you can sell that you've messed up or something's gone wrong, it just, I love the way that really can sucker punch someone at the end. So
Yeah.
I love that plot, if you could call that a plot.
Yeah, Magician in Jeopardy is definitely a plot. But as you said, like using it correctly is definitely amazing. If you're constantly in jeopardy, you're probably going to look like a shit magician if you're not sorting yourself out at
Yes.
the end of it and coming around. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think lay people certainly enjoy watching magicians in trouble, and I think that's why you sort of get that sucker punch at the end of it, and that's why it makes it so enjoyable.
I
I
had
think.
a friend of mine watched my set at the Magic Castle one time and gave me a great note. He's because I was early on in the week at the Magic Castle, like you do 7 days, and this was like on a Monday or Tuesday at the beginning of the week, and the beginning of my set wasn't really getting a great reaction, and my buddy said, "You got to do something really strong, really powerful, really fooling right up top before you get into like mess up premises,
Yeah,
because if you open with them, like." Sometimes you can make the audience uncomfortable, and he was right. And the
yeah,
next show I just switched a couple tricks around, and then the magician in trouble thing went way better.
yeah. Otherwise, you're working so much harder to bring them back once. Because if you start here, it's difficult to gain that momentum. But if you started here, brought them down a little bit, and then back up, yeah,
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
I've certainly
Yep.
asked this question a lot, and some people have very different answers from X book to I don't read. Blake Vogt, are you a reader, and what is your favorite book?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as much of a reader as I used to be, but I love reading. I love books. I have a wall of books. Um, Wait, so is the question is reader? Do I have a favorite book or like what?
Yeah. Do you have a particular
No,
favorite book? This could be something that you go back to all the time. It could be something that's nostalgic to you.
I don't. I don't have a favorite book. I remember, like nostalgic wise, the Mark Wilson Encyclopedia of Magic.
Yeah.
I have it on my shelf, and it looks like it was put through the washing machine because of how many times I read it. Growing up, and but I love one of my favorite things to do is like read a book or skim it. A lot of times, magic books, I don't read methods, or I'll get a book from somebody and I'll read the and premises, and you can read a magic book a lot faster that way. And then, but sometimes a photo or something, a diagram will be like super interesting, and I'll be like, oh wait, let me read, like, what is that
Yeah.
thing do? But you know, I'll do that to get through a book quicker. and then a year later, months later, something will come up and it'll jog my memory, and then I'll go back and really read the trick for inspo or for just to see what's been done.
I know you have a lot of ways of annotating things for creativity purposes, but on a book front, are you like putting in sticky notes or anything to annotate where that is, or is that all just stored in the dome?
Different books I'll do differently. I wish I had a system. Most of them, nothing. A couple years ago, whenever Gayton Bloom's books came out, uh, are they Bloomery? Not Bloom, Full Bloom,
Yeah.
volume 1 and 2. Those are like filled with sticky notes. Oh my god, that was like sticky note central. It looks like a madman read that book. Those
in
books,
in
those
full
are
bloom,
so
I
good.
guess.
Yes, yes, exactly. Full posted note bloom.
Perfect. Obviously, you have a lot of incredible friends who do a lot of incredible things, and I'm going to be really mean and say, do you have a particular favorite performance? This could be something that you've seen live, it could be something that you've seen on TV or something like that. And to be fair, it doesn't necessarily even need to be a magician. But do you have a particular favorite performance that comes to mind for whatever reason?
Of someone else. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sorry.
No, no, no. Yeah, I love watching my friends perform. It's funny though because I have some friends that I'm friends with that I've never seen perform live.
Yeah.
And that's really funny to me because the magic community is so cool, magicians are so cool, but like, you know, it's hard sometimes to make it to people's live shows. Um, I'm obsessed with, and this answer could change hour to hour, but
Yeah.
if you're asking me right now, uh, Justin Willman, I'm just obsessed with. I,
Yeah.
as a human, as a magician, on stage, off stage, and I loved his Netflix special, his magic comedy special on Netflix, and he showed me the like what he's doing now, like an all new show, and I got to see a video of that, and it's the best thing I've ever seen, and it's like better than the Netflix special, and so I get so inspired and like when I see things, I'm like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. I can never come up with anything like this, and so I love so Justin and what he's doing now is probably my favorite performance.
Oof. Some big
Yeah.
statements right there. Very excited to
Yeah.
see what's coming
Not to
from Justin Willman.
overhype it. I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Like you go,
You bringing it back, bringing it down a level.
yes, 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 yes.
Reel it in,
Not the
reel
greatest
it
thing I've ever seen.
in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who are your influences over the past however many years you've been doing magic? Who has been your biggest influences? If you were to narrow it down to 5 or 6 people, I know this is a massive question and nobody could ever name everybody that's influenced them in their life, but if you had to name sort of 5 or 6 people that mainly contributed to what you're doing today.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I have different influences for different parts of my life. I feel like stage wise, like Willman and Copperfield are big influences just from getting to see them so much up close. Um, Work ethic wise, my big influences are Copperfield, Blaine, Willman. Like some of these people you see who are at the top, I've seen them behind the scenes, and you think maybe they work a little bit harder than everybody else, and then you find out they work 1,000 times harder than everyone else, and it's like
Strange
scary
that.
how hard,
You
dude.
you put in
It's
an unholy
like
amount of effort and you get an unholy amount back. It's weird that.
it's 100% what it is, and so seeing that type of stuff up close is so inspiring. Creatively, besides being my best friend in the world, Danny Garcia has inspired me since I was like in high school, seeing his stuff and then getting to live with him and work with him and see how his creative process works and how he works with other people and how he works with producers and how he works with directors and artists. And that's a big inspiration for me. So I've had a lot. I don't have like one big inspiration, you know.
That is completely fair. I feel like everybody could go on forever with that list, and we could never, as I say, thank everybody that's ever inspired us because the list is
Totally.
endless. And as you say,
Yep.
with the multitude of different things that you've done, consultancy, performing, creating, I can imagine there's influences
When
from every sort of corner of that.
Yeah, when I meet somebody or I find somebody that I look up to in a certain part of their life, I feel like I turn into like a sponge,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to that part of their life. You know, I'm like, well, what are they doing, and what can I get from, trying to do or be similar, to that
Yeah.
thing or way of life.
Listening is a big thing. Listening's crazy,
Yes.
man. Sitting back,
Yeah.
listening, and just taking it all in. I think,
Totally.
yeah, it's underutilized. This next
Hmm.
question, we're going to take a little bit of a deep dive. Not a deep dive, a dark dive, let's say. What is your magic industry gripe? What would you say either doesn't belong in the community or maybe is just a little off, or do you think the magic community is perfect?
I saw this. I don't have any gripes. I know that sounds so cliche or like easy answer, but
No?
Magic community is not perfect, but it's really great.
Yeah.
And I have friends in other communities, and I've dipped my toe in or like seen behind the curtain of other communities, and ours is really great compared to other ones. And whenever you start looking at little itty bitty things, it's like, those are way more minuscule than other communities. I feel like I was really lucky because anytime and you spoke to this at the beginning of the episode of like how many times I've gotten lucky or been in the right place at the right time. I have all of that to thank the magic community for. Like, sure, in every community, there's going to be like drama or like little things, but for the most part, dude, like I'm obsessed with the magic community. That's why I've been in it for so long.
Yeah, what a
Yeah.
lovely answer.
I mean,
Normally
I
it's
can't, I
like,
can't
ah,
complain.
hate this
Oh
person,
no,
hate that part of the community. So it's nice
no.
to hear
And then
somebody
I feel like
appreciate it.
also with like specific people too, like I've gotten to meet a lot of people in the magic community, and I've been lucky to have great experiences with the people I've met, and I don't have horror stories with people. But then, like, you hear these dramatic things and stories go on in the community, and sometimes I know both the people, and then you hear both sides of the story, and there's just always two sides to every story, and
Yeah.
that's why I feel like it's impossible to be an outsider and have an opinion on something like that.
Maybe that's a solid reflection on yourself. Maybe you're just a really nice guy and everybody gets on with you. And that's the problem. Got no drama with anyone because you're too damn nice.
No, no, no. I just got life's too short to have drama.
There we go. We'll
Yeah.
end the podcast there. Take that away,
Wow.
Magic Community. Perfect. We're going
Oh
to deep
man.
dive a little further into some slightly more in depth questions. First one
Hmm.
being obviously, you've worked and consulted with a ton of other magicians. Your rap sheet is long. What would you say are the top 2 or 3 lessons that you've learned when it comes to consulting or working with other magicians?
Ooh.
I know this is a very broad question, but
No, no, no. I mean, like maybe instead of saying top three, I'll just think of the first three that come to my mind, which
yeah,
might coincidentally be the top three if they're the first three that come to my mind.
they're there for a reason.
Like we touched on it, but like work ethic is just crazy. I mean, it sounds so simple and oversimplified. It's, of course you got to work hard, but dude, like you know, another one was like I became friendly with Julius Dean online, and Tom Elderfield I know better, but my wife, then girlfriend at the time, we went out to Mexico and stayed with them for a night at their house. that they had in Mexico a few years ago. And from like wake up to go to sleep, those guys were grinding and working and so professional. And then you see these videos they put out, and love a video or hate a video that they were making at a time, didn't matter. They were making so much great content and working so hard that it was so inspiring. Like, I think also it was helpful. I'm realizing this right now in this moment, but like my wife, who's I'm sure thinks I work way too much, which I do. And but then like she got to see them, and she was like, "Well, at least you don't work that hard," like these guys really work hard. But yeah, across the board, any of the top famous magicians that you love that I've gotten to see behind the scenes, not an accident. None of them are an accident. Another one is like teams. I've learned is like really important. Surrounding yourself with people who are better than you at stuff is really important and only makes whatever you're working on better. I feel like the teams that I've gotten to work on where everybody's skill set is really different is the more fun projects. Like, when you get to work on projects with like your close buddies and you're all kind of good at the same thing, that's one thing. But then you get to work on, like, I got to go behind the scenes thanks to Dan White on the Yeezy tour and work with Kanye West on when he was developing the Yeezus tour. And went into this room, and I didn't know anybody in there except Kanye. And Kanye said to the room, he was like, "Everybody in this room is the best in the world at what they do. And you're all smarter than me at what you do. And I'm going to listen to you." And it was like, dude, like just hearing that from someone at his level. And then like I slowly found out who did what in the room. And I was like, oh my God, this is the craziest. This is the craziest room. But like those, and then you see what that group of people makes. And it's so much cooler than like what one person can make, I guess.
When it comes to, just super quickly touching on that before we move on to another point, when it comes to those team and group situations, I know you've touched upon this in a few other places as well. What are your opinions on, as we mentioned before, when to listen, when to give ideas, what's a good idea, what's a bad idea? Are you just gun-ho, get it all out and figure it out afterwards? Or is it sit back, methodical?
I'm the opposite of sit back, methodical, but I've just accepted that that's what I am. And that is, I am that tool in an environment. If your environment does not need that tool, I should not be in your room. Like I will not shut up. I will throw everything that enters my brain out loud. That's the thing that I've said it before, but like, when Copperfield went to hire me and he was like, "What good ideas do you promise you'll bring to the team?" I said, "I promise you 0 good ideas, but I promise you I will be the guy that never runs out of bad ideas." And I continue to say that in meetings in like some crazy rooms, crazy rooms where I'm being paid way more than someone should be paid for ideas. But it's like, I'm just saying, I have no idea if anything good's going to come out, but I'm positive bad is going to come out, and it's going to be funny. And, I just feel like I've been in so many rooms, especially early on, where I was quiet. And when the room goes quiet and people are just like in their own head, nothing happens. Like I've never been in a room where it was 10 minutes of silence and then one person said the answer. It's like all of the rooms, and that's just from experience, but all of the rooms I've ever been in where the craziest things were invented, like it was within the context of saying the dumbest things you would have ever imagined. And then, but that one dumb thing clicked it for somebody, And so, I'm a fan of the bad ideas.
Perfect. I am very happy to hear that.
But it's
full of
subjective as well. But I've been in, I will say though, opposite of that, I've been in rooms, even most recently, I was in a really cool, crazy room. Dynamo put together a really crazy room of people a few months back in Vegas. And there were some guys in there that I'd never worked with before. I won't name names, but were on the more quiet side. But dude, when they spoke, I was like, oh my God. Like only dropped bombs. And I was like, I wish I could do that. I
Yeah.
could not do that. Yeah.
There's some absolute underground demons in this community that are just like
Yeah.
working in the shadows, and then when they come out of the shadows, even briefly, think, my goodness, like where have you been, and what are you doing to do that?
They're doing crazy stuff, man.
Fair
Yeah.
play to the quiet guys as well.
Yes,
Perfect.
totally.
Obviously, we touched on a few different aspects there of the life that you've lived thus far. Having been a performer, a consultant, and a creator, how has each role individually shaped the way you put your own material together? Because obviously, a lot of your focus now has come away from working with other people and is now on your own work. How have all of those roles sort of culminated in what you do today?
Yeah, I just feel like I've tried to take my favorite parts from different experiences and try to put it into my own work. Like whether it be creative strategies or show strategies or like yeah, just all of it has affected uh it's all cohesive. Like for the longest time I was only consulting, and then it never burnt out, but the more I consulted, the more it made me miss performing, and now I've been doing a lot of performing, and I don't really like consulting as much anymore. Especially I feel like just jaded, but once you have consulted for some of these guys I've consulted for, it's very hard to work with other people just
Yeah.
because like Copperfield, Blaine, like Blaine is so creative and so hardworking and such a defined character that when you get to come up with stuff for someone like him, when you're working with other people who are maybe, just don't have that same work ethic or don't have that same drive, it's not as fun.
Yeah.
But like anytime my phone rings and Blaine calls, I get really excited. Or like getting to go work for Dynamo or Dan White or Justin Willman, I got to work with a few weeks back on something, and those are like then like I get reinvigorated in the consulting and creating, and then doing like my own podcast the last year has really made me fall in love with it again, getting to work with people I've never jammed with before. So that's been fun.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect segue as well into taking a look at Inventing Magic, which for me personally has been an absolutely phenomenal resource and certainly a breath of fresh air in the community. I don't think the sort of
Thanks,
consultancy
man.
side of it's looked at necessarily as much as, or at least not as publicly as potentially could be for people that are looking to get into it. So it's very interesting to see the creative process and so many different creative processes. And as I mentioned before this started, the ideas that you guys come up with in that 1 hour is just ridiculous. And the fact that the camera's recording and you come out with gold is, yeah, absolutely absurd.
Yeah, the cameras are nice. It's not live, so we're recording it, which there's also a little bit of pressure taken off. I will say everyone has ever aired, but I do tell the people at the beginning, like, we don't set up anything, but
Yeah.
it's not recording when we start. And I tell them, like it's going to be on YouTube. I'm like, it's going to be a strict 60 minutes. And then I ultimately just tell them just to kind of take the pressure off. Like no one's watching. So like, if this next hour sucks, I hit delete and no one ever sees it. That hasn't happened yet. I will tell you, but that kind of takes some pressure off too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it would appear the pressure's doing solid at the minute because you guys are
nice.
absolutely killing it.
I love working within parameters. Like that's a personal thing. So like if you told me right now, invent a magic trick, unlimited budget, unlimited time frame for anybody.
Yeah.
Impossible.
Yeah.
If you said to me like, just as an example, like Justin Willman is going on Jimmy Fallon next week. And it's a 3-minute spot and it's standing. And the last 3 times he did this. And it's to promote this. And, like all of a sudden,
Constraints.
like, oh my gosh, it's like, it's so easy. I think it's so much easier. So with the podcast, I've tried to do the same thing. Like, whatever we kind of jam on, should the average reader who reads Genie magazine should be able to try it. So like we can't come up with like a Copperfield level budget concept. And then like we have an hour. So what can we come up with in an hour? We're not going to finish anything. But so those constraints, I feel like, do help the challenge, because if you don't, I don't know how to work without constraints.
Otherwise it's just an open end and it's a constant loop of like
too many possibilities.
To go to. 100%.
That's why I find it harder to create for myself than I do for other people. Like, I love getting brought in for specific things, or like that's more what I get phone calls about anymore. Like, because I've kind of become known as a paper guy or a splitting guy or gimmick guy. Like, if Blaine calls, he's not calling me to like shoot the
levitation.
Shit. And no, maybe. Exactly. But he's calling me to be like, okay, so I got this thing with a dollar bill. And I'm like, okay, talk to me. Like, it's like very specific challenges and missions and like those things. I love putting blinders on, but for myself, it's really hard to come up with the missions. Do
you find it difficult because it's obviously, I can imagine a lot of these people and their personalities have had a massive influence on you as a performer as well. Do you find that it's harder to narrow it down to what fits you because of the other influences that are coming around from it?
At the beginning, yes. Okay. Totally. So really, really dead on. Yeah, I think at the beginning, I was just an amalgamation of everybody I was watching. I would buy a trick and I would take the script from that person's trick and do it verbatim. And, even the jokes and the inflection and the mannerisms. But then I have slowly found my own, I feel like, voice or lane or style. And so that's not as much an issue anymore. I just feel like, it's coming up with like a general concept and then narrowing it down to like, it's the unlimited, no constraints. That's what I'm saying. That's hard for me. So it's like, if I say to myself today, that's why I do. I mean, we talked about this briefly, but like I write down 10 ideas a day as an exercise to just, because if I didn't do that, I would feel like it'd go stale for myself.
I'm going to, because I have a question a little later on specifically about that exercise. So I'm going to pull it in here and then we're going to jump back to inventing magic just to complicate matters, because why not? Obviously, you have a multitude of creative exercises, such as waking up every morning, writing down 10 ideas, no matter how good or bad they are. Could you take us through an example of one of those exercises might look like? Like, so is it literally just 10 bullet point ideas? How in depth are they?
Yes. Yeah, no. And the I'll be very clear. The goal isn't to write 10 ideas down. The goal is, I tell myself, write 10 bad ones down.
Okay.
So I am specifically trying to write down horrible ideas, like bad ones, because I find that easier than sitting down trying to write down 10 good ones or 10 ideas. Like, it'll take me an hour. I do my morning exercise in 3 to 4 minutes. But because it's like, name a bad idea. That's easy. Like, I got those. But then because I do it every day, like that's 70 a week, or let's say I do five days a week, that's 50. If I write down 50, I mess up and I accidentally write down 2 or 3 good ones. But if I tried to write down 10 good ones a day, I don't know. It would have to be like an hour exercise or, I just don't have the time.
You mentioned obviously parameters and constraints. These ideas specifically, are they just like brain farts of this might be cool, or is it
Mhm.
I take X principle with X object in X location? Do you have like
All
a format
different.
or a formula? Just yeah.
No format. No format. It's just 10. It's this is my current book. So it's 10, like it's just they're really quick. So here, this is a really short day. These were 10 sentences. So number one, samurai sword from balloon. No idea. Uh, Christmas lights all over the stage. That was an idea. Like, don't know what that means. I just
Yeah.
like the visual of it, you know. Uh, I'm not saying that out loud. Okay, well, okay. Ready? Number three, pluck 6 arm hairs and then do gypsy hair. So like,
One long
bing,
hair.
bing, 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 and
Oh
then you
my
like,
goodness.
yeah, dude. So that's what I don't have methods. I don't have,
Yeah.
you know, denture magic, wind up chompers. Uh, you know, this is really bad. But what I will do is like if I go through a whole day, there we go. So like I'll go through it every once in a while and you'll see a little star.
Yeah.
That will be while I'm writing, I'll be like, oops, that one's pretty good. Like I'll start, but like you gotta go 3 or 4 pages to find a star,
Yeah.
you know. Let's see.
That's such a great
That
exercise.
one's really good. I won't say that one. Anyways, yeah, these are nice.
I think at the end of the day, like everybody can come up with bad ideas. Like this is no barrier to
I think
entry
so.
here. Like just throw out some shit. If the shit sticks, perfect. Like that's
Yeah.
so cool. When I initially heard you talking about this in another podcast, I assumed it was good ideas and it was like sit write down 10 concepts.
Oh, that makes
So
me sound
it's
way more impressive.
that's why I was like, this guy's writing like 70 concepts a week. Like, who is this guy?
No, no.
So that's really cool to hear because it's something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and occasionally I drop in and out of just throwing some ideas down. But as you say, it takes time to get stuff that's like even remotely has legs. So yeah, I'm gonna start
Yeah.
that tomorrow, just writing absolute shit, and we'll
I
see what happens.
what I like to do to tell people is like do it for a week. Like
Yeah,
challenge yourself to do it every day for 1 week. Don't say I'm going to start doing this every day now cuz like
yeah,
that might be too hard. But it's like all right, it's whatever day this comes out like on Monday or today, I'm going to write 10 and then for the next 7 days and then I'm just going to go back and see if any of the 70 were accidentally a good idea.
yeah.
Like, and if it's, it won't be 0. I promise. Like, yeah,
Challenge
I promise.
accepted.
I promise. You will prove me wrong if you can write 70 genuinely bad ideas.
We'll
You
find
know,
out. This time next week, you'll get a
that's
message or an email from me being
hilarious.
like, nope, all dog
Oh my
shit.
god. No, let's do it. Let's do it right now. Let's do it right now. I'll do it with you. Okay.
Oh,
We'll do
shoot.
I already did mine for the day. So
My
we'll do
notepad's
bonus
under my
10.
bed. Oh,
Oh my god. But
the
here's
pressure.
what's fun is it's like I do really bad in my office
Yeah,
because
just no visual. I
but
mean,
it's
I say no visual inspiration. Look at this room.
what's shiny there
Eternal
over your
darkness.
shoulder.
That there is my wardrobe. But on top of
No,
that is
the shiny
this.
thing.
Oh,
This
people can only
a
see
little bit
this
higher. Oh,
square.
a
So
little
this
bit
looks
higher.
lovely and tidy. I need to
That's
see
so
what
nice.
you're seeing. That is a
Shiny
fan.
thing,
That is a fan in
a
the
fan.
background. A little tower fan.
Okay, so a fan throwing something into the fan
It getting
and
shredded or
it getting shredded, and then when you take the shreds and you throw it back through the fan, it goes back together. So there's one.
perfect.
Fans
Reverse
shred.
snowstorm.
Yes. Oh, see, you already messed up the exercise.
Sorry.
Reverse snowstorm is a great idea. Reverse snowstorm. See, that would get a star. Okay. All right. 2.
I have a
Headphones
bike
is
beside
cool.
me. I got
You have a
headphones.
bike?
Yeah.
Bike is cool.
People
Do
can't
you
see
ride
this.
your bike?
I got a
Road
rather
bike?
expensive road bike. Yeah, that doesn't
Road
get used
bike?
nearly enough, but it's there.
Dude, road bike, it would be fun. So this would be something I write in my ideas would be a quick trick I could carry on my bike and do to someone at a red light. Like
Yeah,
that's an
like
idea. I'm saying that's complete. I don't have to say anything else.
there's a
So
bicycle computer on here. There's a place for holding a water bottle. There's a pump.
dude, I
There's
wouldn't even we don't even have to go over
brake
any of that.
cables,
I'm just saying
tires.
like road bike
What is?
trick.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. Like
Doesn't have to be
you
specific.
could no, road bike trick. Like road
Yeah,
bike trick, it could be any of those objects, but if you could invent something that you just had on your bike at all times, and then like anytime you pulled up to a stoplight, you were like beep beep, and people were like, "What?"
I need to
That would
do
be
this
fun.
in the car. That sounds like a really fun idea. Like
Car,
something with an air freshener or I don't know, something like that.
red light car magic. That's number three. But air freshener is
That's
cool.
that's a YouTube
Air fresh,
miniseries in itself right there. Red light car
air fresh.
magic.
Yeah, dude. Air freshener. If you took the air freshener, if you like honked your horn, got someone to look over, you took off your air freshener and you vanished it, and then it was
But
back on your thing.
ah, so good.
Uh, air fresh uh, object to impossible location. Okay, number five. What else is around you?
I've got a multi-tool. I've got some AirPods.
Multi-tool, dude. Multi-tool is hilarious. Any drink called for, but with a multi-tool. So
Any
that would be
tool called
really
for.
funny. Any tool called for, like if you were like, "Have you seen this? This is the new multi-tool. Name anything," and they said like,
Dental floss, and you're like, "Yep, there you go."
"Yep, yeah," or like dental, yeah. Uh, any tool called for.
Like
Okay, next.
jackhammer, things like.
Exactly. Love that.
I've got
Okay,
a
number
thread
six.
reel here, a wallet. Um, there's an imp device here. It's like
What's an imp device?
impression device.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
there's just a cap off a Sharpie. I don't know where the rest of the
Is
Sharpie is.
there has anyone built an
Ink brush.
impression device into a wallet?
Um,
So like the wallet itself is the impression device?
I don't believe so. I know certainly
Yeah.
some of the smaller ones, like the iOval Post-it pad, you could probably put that inside of your wallet and then just probably
No,
stick
the
your note on
wallet
the
itself.
outside. Hmm.
Imp wallet number 7. Let's go. Imp wallet. What was that? Paintbrush?
Yep, there's a brush here. This is for
Paintbrush.
this is for moving my. I've got 2 pet jumping spiders, and this is for gently moving them. So spider magic,
Wait,
I don't think is done
what?
particularly often.
You have pet spiders that jump?
Yeah, I believe they're from the States, or certainly like that way. One of them's currently out on the cage at the moment, but yeah, they're little jumping spiders. They're very cool. They're
Dude,
super cute.
that's just
Definitely
like,
Google it after this. They're crazy.
dude, I'm just saying, okay, hold on. That is like the coolest premise. Like if you were out somewhere and you went to empty your pockets and all of a sudden a paintbrush came out and you're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, that's for my jumping spiders." People would be like,
What?
"What?" And
This one
now
right
you're
here.
in for anything. Paintbrush, jumping,
Just paint a small spider
spiders.
on your hand, and then it instantly turns into the spider. Cool concept.
Or you could you could do double cross and say you're drawing a little spider on them, and then it jumps from your hand to their hand or something. All right, number 8.
I've got some deodorant. I've got
Is that spray deodorant?
yeah, I've got miniature escape rooms. This is like a deck of cards that's also an escape room. I've got this absolutely phenomenal thing that people should definitely check
awesome.
out.
Okay, I'm gonna be. This is a bad idea exercise,
Juggling
right?
clubs.
Bad idea exercise.
Yep.
You showed me a spray deodorant can, and then you showed me a escape room in a box. So I would say
An escape room in a can would be cool.
That's exactly what I just wrote. Escape can.
Very
okay,
cool.
Number 9. Number 9.
I got juggling clubs, juggling balls,
juggling
whiskey,
clubs, juggling,
medals.
just juggling. I love jugglers, but can you juggle?
I'm currently learning clubs. I can juggle walls, but
Cool.
clubs is yeah,
Cool.
totally different ball.
I feel like visual sight gags for juggling is that you can never have enough. So like
Mm.
I put in here like what could I juggle that's never been juggled before? Weird juggle challenge. Okay, number 10. One more. Almost done.
What else do I have around me? Dude, what's really funny is back here looks super neat and tidy, and you can't see anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's currently black arted. There's two bits of felt back there that are covering a projector and then some books and some cards. So a fun little fact for anybody that
Dude.
doesn't know that. So black art,
Dude,
maybe something
I'm gonna
there.
say black art on video call
Yeah.
as a method. All right, that's 10. So that would be
Boom.
like that's exactly what I do every morning.
Okay, and that
And
took
then
us what, like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, maybe tops.
yeah. And I mean like it can go faster some mornings but then what's so funny is like I couldn't tell you the number of times I've been in rooms with people and they're like, I've always wanted to do a trick with a fan or something. And then I'll be like, reverse snowstorm. And people are like, how'd you do that? That's an amazing idea. And
Yeah.
I'm like, but like, you never know what any of those things
Yeah,
are going
might
to spark
spark the
later.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. That's the exercise.
Incredible. That was super fun. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. It's gonna be good. I'm
Awesome.
gonna go into a different room in the house, so I've got I mean there was so many
Yeah.
weird and wonderful things in here that I've never really thought about.
Dude, or if you're mainly in one room, I'll put a show on, or I'll scroll Instagram, or I'll put a movie on.
Some
Just
sort of
if
like
you
visual.
yeah, just
Yeah.
to change it up.
Perfect. As I mentioned in season 1, there are tons of recommendations from the guests of new tricks, new books, new theories, new ideas that I always want to go back and delve into even more. And in order to do so, I need to buy those products. And where am I going to buy them from? MAGICBOX. That is the obvious answer to this. They have everything that I could possibly need and the expert knowledge to give me the assistance that I need to find exactly what I'm after. And using code PATCT at checkout, you can grab yourself 10% off your order. That's code PATCT to grab 10% off. On with the episode. We're going to quickly jump back to Inventing Magic. I'm going to jump across to a separate camera or a separate screen, and we're going to look at Ring Receipt, or Ring Seat, as it was called in one of the Genie magazines. We'll quickly have a look at this video briefly, and then we will discuss one, sort of how the concept came about, and then Inventing Magic as a whole.
Here's a trick with an ordinary receipt and a borrowed ring. You would borrow this ring from someone, and then you would wrap it up inside of the receipt so you can feel the metal ring in there. You can actually offer this to the person so they can feel it themselves. If they pinch down, they feel their ring inside. And then whenever you're ready for the magic to happen, you just blow, and their ring absolutely vanishes. Gone, completely gone. What? And this receipt can be examined. What?
I remember seeing this for the first time and just thinking, there's no way that one worked or two actually feels like a ring. And then at work a few weeks ago, I was like, okay, I'm going to give it a try. And I was like, holy shit, what are we missing out on here? What else can we forge out of paper? Or like,
That's so cool, man.
Absurd, man.
That's so cool.
So obviously, this came about just messing with a random object. The concept as a whole of Inventing Magic obviously was touched upon in the episodes of Inventing Magic, but for anybody that might not have seen it, what is Inventing Magic?
It's I try to invent a new magic trick with someone in 1 hour, and we just record the process. That's the one sentence pitch for it. And that's the clickbaity like premise. Yeah. But the secret is I just want to show people how much fun magic is to jam on. Yeah. And I think I'm showing that, or at least I'm having a blast because, every single time I don't know which ones are out right now, but I think Another one comes out. I don't know, when does this come out?
This will come
That
out
we're doing.
not next Wednesday. It'll be 2 weeks after that. So I do not know the date on that.
That's all right.
Like a month away, like mid
I'm
May.
so I can say this. Tobias Dostal is my next one, and I jammed with
Another
him.
demon.
That comes out Monday, so it'll already be out when this is out.
Sweet.
And then I've already done the next one, and I won't say that one. And that one was bonkers, dude. The people that I'm getting to say yes to do this are blowing my mind.
It's crazy, man. Just
Yeah.
like seeing the stuff that comes out of people's heads is just absurd. Like some of the stuff, I mean, Rune Clan's one that springs to mind immediately.
Oh my
Some of the
God.
things in there with liquids that I'd never even would never think of in a million years, and I was like, that's a cool premise that could be used for this. Or yeah, even just the inspiration to be taken from not only the creative process and seeing you guys break things down, but just like the madness and the methods. Yeah, it's been one hell of a watch. So I recommend
Thanks,
everybody
man.
watches it.
And then the most recent one was the first time we ever had this happen, which was, I'm glad it's finally happened because it was bound to happen. We came up with something that had already been come up with before. And so I just did one with Michael Carbonaro, and we jammed really generically, like
Yep.
the whole time around a lot of really fun premises. And then it was like we had 5 minutes left in the episode, and I was like, well, let's hash one out.
Yeah.
And we hashed one out, and we hashed out a David Regal trick.
Yeah.
But like we didn't know that. And then the Noah Levine does this for me. He's the best. He'll watch the episode first and then check me and research and find out if we said anything. And so like we hit up David Regal, and he was like, totally cool. Like put it, leave it in.
Incredible.
And then yeah, but then what's so funny is like anytime I've ever heard of like a magician saying like independent creation, like I came up with that too.
Yeah.
No one ever has the proof. And like I've got it on tape.
Literally.
Like, you can literally see what led us to exactly this thing and how we got there. And it's not made up. None of them are faked. The most prep I ever did with anybody was Thanky wanted to mail each other objects, and that was really fun. Yeah.
So cool. Do you ever intend on doing this in person? Because I feel like this would be a really fun watch at a magic convention. If you just got like 3 or 4 people on stage, you just threw a bunch of objects out and you just went crazy for an hour, I think would be really fun watch.
Wonder if that's in the works. That would be so cool. That is a great idea. I agree with you. That would be really cool to watch. It should be done live someday. That should be.
Okay.
That's what I'll say.
I look forward to that potentially happening in the future.
Oh my gosh.
If somebody wanted to follow a similar path to yours, what would you tell them to focus on first? Would it be skill or general output? Would it be knowledge, relationships, or would it be something else? Because obviously, as you say, you've had a wild introduction to magic and a wild journey at that. So not everybody's going to be able to follow the path that you have. So what would you say is the most important thing, if not all of them, I guess?
Yeah, I know. This is a great question, and I feel like the cop-out answer is they're all important. Yeah. But I think what's important is all of them. I think that I focused on all of them, and I saw people. And again, it's subjective. Everybody's path's different. I think my path might have happened the way it did because I was focused on all of them. I have seen people have very successful careers because they only focused on skill, and they're the best in the world at that thing. I didn't do that. I practiced for hours, but then I tried to make a bunch of stuff, and then while I was reading, and then any chance I got to meet somebody and hang out with them, I took it. So like I literally worked on all of them, but like intentionally. Like I intentionally practiced. I intentionally Like I took 1 year and I put one video on Instagram every day for 1 year and I made it. I did the 365. I that was a really important year for me. Knowledge. I read books. I seek out knowledge. Watch Vanishing Ink masterclasses. Like relationships. Anytime anybody's like, "Hey, do you want to go to this thing? We get to meet this person." I'm like, yes, yes, yes. I say yes to everything. If I can, I will do the thing. Like
Yeah.
whether it be an event, a gig. I'm the worst negotiator.
More magic
so
podcasts.
Dude, magic podcasts. Like
Yeah.
when you reached out to me, it was like no brainer. Like I love talking about magic. So I love doing stuff. But that's a cop out answer. But I'm trying to make it an intentional answer, not a generic one. Like I would give the advice to someone from my experience. I saw success because I worked on all of those things. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. I think that's a great answer. I don't think that's a cop-out answer at all. I think that's the answer that everybody needs to hear. And I think a lot of the points that we've touched upon within this, like sitting back and listening and throwing out bad ideas and just like working your ass off, giving it like 150%. I think all of it's mega important, and it's often things that sort of slip my mind, and I think it's easy to do when you're just sort of going through the motions to not really think about certain aspects. But if you can really intently focus on those different things, then yeah, I think they will pay dividends in the end. And you are an example of that, and the people that you worked with are also incredible examples of that as well.
Totally.
We are going to sort of round this up with a little segment, and then there's some slightly smaller follow-up questions after that. This segment is the question deck segment. So this is, I want to say 52. It's not 52 anymore because there's cards that I've taken out because I don't want repeat questions. So it's 40 something random questions. These range from prolific life questions to magic related questions to utter bullshit, let's be honest. So this could be absolutely anything. They are in no particular order. They are not rough and smooth. There is no breaks. This is genuine free choice. You call out stop. We see what question it is. I don't know what it is. You don't know what it is, and we'll go from there. So say stop whenever you wish.
Stop.
Oof, right close to the top. It is. What is your ideal day when you're not working?
Ooh, that's great. It's a great question.
Like if your wife came to you and said, "Not a drop of work today at all," what are you doing for that day?
That's one thing I've gotten a lot better at is taking full days off. And it's hard for me because I love working, but I have found that I get more work done when I take days off than I do if I work through. So ideal day like now is like sleep in, stay at home with my wife and her son, and we chill. We each are kind of very independent people, so we'd all kind of do something by ourselves, and then we'd leave and go do something together. I love going to like Dave and Buster's with them, like getting out, going to Dave and Buster's, doing an activity, coming home, my wife cooking, and then putting on a show or a movie and going to bed. It sounds boring. It might sound boring, but it's like
Sounds bliss.
that day sounds so perfect to me. That sounds so awesome.
Yeah, sounds great. Sounds absolutely bliss. Lion, spend time with people that you love, come home and chill. Yeah, man, that sounds awful. Wish I couldn't do that every day.
No, it's great. Like, but I mean, like, I would argue, like, when I was younger, I would ask for the same day, but I would want magic in there.
Yeah.
And now that I'm older, I just turned 37, so I'm still young, but I mean, like, at 37, I value the days where I don't work or think or talk about magic at all.
Yeah.
And those days make the days I work on magic better, I think.
Do you like super strict, no notepads, no nothing, or Does it occasionally slip in where you're like, "Well, I'll knock that idea down because I've been inspired"?
Sometimes it'll slip in, or like I'll be I'm a fan of like some people, if they have an idea, they have to write it down right away.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of the mind, like if something happens on my day off and it gives me an idea, I won't write it down. I won't go work on it. I won't go. And if I wake up the next day and I've forgotten about it, it must not have been that good of an idea.
Yeah.
But like most of the time, if I have an idea on my day off, when I wake up the next morning, I go run straight to my office and I'm like, let's play with that idea. Like, I don't need to write it down. If it was good, it would stick. And if it was dumb, I wake up and be like, I forgot it. Whatever.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm going to touch ever so briefly on something that I brought up earlier, which is this and the sort of prequel to this. Box 1 and Box 2, the incredible puzzle game that you guys developed at Theory 11 with Neil Patrick Harris. How did that project, one, come about? Obviously, we'll try and keep this relatively short. How did this project come about, and what sort of involvement did you have in that? Because it's not necessarily like Magic, but there's cool elements that... I'm not going to spoil anything, because you guys just need to go play this. They're both incredible.
What was fun was like getting to use Magic thinking in the game sense and like with puzzles, and I'm obsessed with puzzles and games, and so like getting to just use a Magic background brain. And I have I was an industrial design major in college, so packaging and folding and origami, like I feel like getting to work on those games is kind of like an amalgamation of all of the things I love in one project. And we worked on Box 1 for a few years before it came out. And it came out during COVID, which no one saw coming 2 years previous. And I think it blew up because it was a game that was designed for one player.
Yeah.
You know, you could play by yourself. And then the world shut down. So people were like, wait, there's this game that they just invented, like and they're like, yeah, it took 2 years, but it was perfect timing. But then, the sequel, and then like getting to work on those two doing well have led to other opportunities to work on stuff like that with Theory 11. And those things have been in the works for a long time and hopefully will come to fruition soon. So it's like, you know,
what a tease.
I've always got, I don't know, but if you like those, wait till you see what's coming next. Holy crap.
Yes. Man, am I excited.
Yeah.
Do you think, I mean, hypothetically speaking, you can't stop it too realistically. This is going to be a trilogy. Is there a Box 3 potentially somewhere down the line, or is that...
Dude, literally, it's so funny you said that. Like, as we were jamming Box 2, I was saying like, well, that's for Box 3, you know. So, but like that's what we said when we were working on Box 1 was like, you know, that's for Box 2. And so I love thinking about things in sequels, and like I love sequels. I love movies that have sequels, that have good sequels and like clever sequels. So I don't know if there will be a Box 3, but if there is, I would love to work on it. I love getting to work with Neil. There's another person that should have been on my list of inspirations. Like seeing that guy work, holy moly.
Yeah,
dude.
Neil's crossover in obviously Magic and then the escape room world and puzzles and stuff like that is such a crazy blend. But
then you put like all of those skills inside of an actor, and it's like, oh my God. Like I have a friend of mine, Eric Stone Street, who's an amazing actor, is also an amazing magician, performer, and clown. And like, even just something as simple as like, I've been at Neil's house when he was like filming a video for Instagram or something. And I thought I've gotten pretty good at filming videos for Instagram, but like somebody like showed him, you know, I printed off what you sent me, but like showed him something like this, and he was like, got it. And then like did it. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like that was a magic trick to me. And, you know, his skill set is so vast that seeing somebody that's as successful as he is, and then you see him behind the scenes, and you're like, oh yeah, that checks out. Yeah, cool.
Again,
Not an accident.
keeps coming back to work ethic, man. Keeps coming back.
Yeah, man. Totally.
That's the one thing to be taken away from today's episode. We are
I
going to
love
wrap
that.
it up with two final questions. One of which is, what are your plans for the future? Do you have anything you could? I mean, you've already teased us a bunch today with new projects with Theory 11, new stuff you're working on. Is there anything that you'd like to tell us about or promote? What is in the future of Blake Vogt?
I'm always working on 20 things, and everything takes so long to come out. I feel like within this year, some more stuff's coming out, which is cool. I love that. I have years where nothing comes out, but I'm so busy. And then people are like, what have you been doing? And then, like, the next year, 10 things drop the same week. And they're like, how'd you do this week? So I'm traveling, performing on Disney cruise ships, one a month right now. So you can find me on a different Disney cruise ship 1 week every month. And I'm home working with Theory 11 on really cool next level stuff. I don't release my tricks until I've performed them for a few years. And there's a few tricks that I've been performing for years that I'm ready to like release. So I've got some new stuff coming out. But I just love this stuff, man. I'm obsessed if you can't tell.
Yeah, there's so many crazy cool, like the Trickstarter stuff that's recently come out that you've had a hand in.
Oh my gosh.
Super cool. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm excited to see what the future holds, because if the past is anything to go by, the future's going to be fun, man.
Agreed, man. I agree. Totally.
Perfect. Where can our listeners find you, specifically on social media? If they want to follow with your journey, if they want to find out potentially what like Disney cruise you're on to come see you, or what shows you've got going on.
My website is a good source. I would say that I'm on all the socials, but my main one is Instagram. I just personally love Instagram, so I post there the most, and it's my name at Blake Vogt is my Instagram handle.
Perfect. Well, this has been an action-packed hour with like crazy quick-fire creativity exercises and an unholy amount of knowledge packed into what is now 67 minutes. So I can't thank you enough for taking the time out of your day and spreading so much knowledge in such a little amount of time, and again giving everybody a little bit of a tease as to what's coming, because it sounds super fun, man. So again, thank you so much.
Thanks, man,
for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. For anybody listening
Thanks
at
for
home,
asking.
not a problem at all. It is my pleasure all the way. For anybody listening at home, if you haven't already, check out Inventing Magic. It's an absolutely phenomenal video podcast. As Blake mentioned there's plenty more to come, but you've got like 12 or 13 that are already out. Go deep dive them. I sat for an entire day and watched like 6 or 7 of them back to back.
Oh, cool.
Just while I was working on some magic stuff for myself and for some other people, and I was like, I'm just gonna have this playing in the background. I'm gonna pick up on things as and when they come. And to be fair,
perfect.
90% of the time, I was like this, watching and not really doing what I should have been doing. But it was a lot of fun. So highly recommend that. Obviously, check out Box 1, Box 2, and anything else Blake's got coming out. If you did enjoy the episode, let us know what you took away from it. Leave a comment, and we shall catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye.